Are you familiar with your strengths? This question may sound simple, but it's a vital one, especially when you're on the hunt for a job. Knowing your strengths isn't just about self-affirmation. It's about understanding how you can contribute to a team, a project, or a company. It's about recognizing what makes you unique and valuable in your professional sphere. In the context of a job interview, this question is even more significant. When an interviewer asks about your strengths, they are looking for three key things. First, they want to see self-awareness. They want to know if you understand your capabilities and how they translate into your work. Second, they're looking for evidence. It's not enough to just claim a strength. You need to be able to back it up with concrete examples. Finally, they want to understand how these strengths apply to the job at hand. They want to see if you can connect the dots between your personal abilities and the requirements of the role. But here's the thing. Don't wait for the interviewer to ask about your strengths. Be proactive. Highlight your strengths throughout the conversation. Every interview is an opportunity to showcase the skills and experiences that make you an ideal candidate for the role. Now you might be thinking, should I just echo the qualities listed in the job description? Well, while it's important to align your strengths with the job requirements, remember to stay authentic. It's not just about ticking boxes. It's about demonstrating how your unique blend of skills, experiences, and personal traits makes you the right fit for the role. So how do you go about identifying these strengths? And once you've identified them, how do you articulate them effectively? Well, that's what we're going to delve into next, because knowing your strengths is only the first step. Being able to communicate them effectively is what will set you apart from the competition. Now let's dive deeper into how to identify and articulate your strengths effectively. To truly stand out, you need to identify your genuine strengths. And to do that, you'll need to embark on a journey of self-discovery. The first stop? Brainstorming. This is the time to let your mind wander, to consider all the things you're good at, and to jot them down without judgment or hesitation. Think about what makes you unique, what you bring to the table that others might not. Try to answer questions like, what do I truly excel at? What can I contribute? Remember, your strengths aren't just limited to your professional skills or your work experience. They encompass all aspects of who you are. So, don't shy away from considering personal qualities or hobbies that set you apart. Now, as you brainstorm, you'll find that your strengths fall into three categories. First, we have experience. This is about the knowledge and expertise you've gained over the years. It could be how long you've worked in a particular industry, the specific tasks you've mastered, or even a niche market you're familiar with. Next up, we have soft skills. These are the characteristics that influence how you work. Are you a great listener, a strong leader, or an effective communicator? Maybe you're a whiz at time management or a master organizer. These are all soft skills, and they're just as important as your technical abilities. Lastly, we have hard skills. These are task-specific abilities often acquired through training or education. Are you fluent in a foreign language, adept at coding, or a talented writer? These hard skills are your bread and butter, the tools of your trade that allow you to perform your job. So get out there and start brainstorming. Don't limit yourself or be too critical. This is the time to acknowledge all the things you're good at. Once you've brainstormed your strengths, it's time to refine them and prepare for presenting them. Remember, knowing your strengths isn't just about self-awareness, it's about being able to convey them effectively to others. So let's discover what your superpowers are. Having a long list of strengths is great, but we need to refine it. Now that you've brainstormed a comprehensive list of your strengths, it's time to narrow down that list. This process isn't about minimizing your talents, but rather about choosing the ones that will shine the brightest in the context of the job you're aiming for. Start by considering the job description. What skills and traits does it highlight as important? Now cross-reference these with your list of strengths. Are there any matches? If so, these strengths are likely to be highly relevant to the role. But remember, relevance is just one piece of the puzzle. A strength isn't truly a strength unless you can back it up with evidence. So for each of the strengths you've identified as relevant, consider if you have concrete examples to prove them. Think of situations where you've used these strengths to achieve something significant. Maybe you used your problem-solving skills to find a creative solution to a tricky issue, Or perhaps your leadership abilities helped you guide a team to success. If you're struggling to find examples for a particular strength, it might be worth reconsidering whether it's a true strength or just something you're good at. There's a subtle difference, but it's an important one. A strength is something you excel at, something that sets you apart from others. And that brings us to the final refining step. Are you comfortable discussing these strengths? Can you talk about them with authenticity and enthusiasm? If not, they might not be the right strengths to highlight. Remember, you want to present your strengths in the most positive light possible, and that's easiest to do when you genuinely believe in them. So there you have it, a refined list of your strengths, each one relevant to the job, backed up with evidence and something you're comfortable discussing. Not only will this help you stand out in a job interview, but it also provides a solid foundation for personal and professional growth. Now that you've refined your strengths, let's move on to how to present them. Presenting your strengths effectively is key to leaving a lasting impression. Now that you've identified and refined your strengths, it's time to learn how to present them in the best light. This isn't about bragging or overselling yourself. It's about confidently communicating your value. Imagine your strengths as a unique toolkit. Each tool has a specific purpose, and it's your job to show how these tools can benefit the organization. Remember, confidence is key. But don't confuse confidence with arrogance. It's not about being the best at everything. It's about knowing what you bring to the table and being able to articulate it clearly. Being clear and concise is crucial. You want to avoid vague statements like, "I'm a hard worker." Instead, aim for specific strengths like, "I'm adept at managing multiple projects simultaneously due to my strong organizational skills." This gives a clear picture of what you're good at and how it's applicable to the job. Providing examples is another essential aspect of presenting your strengths. Examples bring your strengths to life. They show you're not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. Let's say one of your strengths is problem solving. Instead of just stating it, you could say, "In my previous role, I was often called upon to troubleshoot complex issues. I developed a systematic approach that allowed me to effectively find and implement solutions, often reducing downtime by 20%. This adds depth to your strength and shows you in action. Finally, always connect your strengths to the job. This requires a good understanding of the job requirements and the company's needs. For instance, if the job requires strong team leadership and you have experience leading teams, make sure to highlight this. Explain how you've been able to guide teams to success in the past and how you plan to do the same in this role. With these tips, you're well on your way to presenting your strengths effectively. Remember, it's about showcasing your unique toolkit and how it can benefit the organization. So go forth and confidently share your strengths. You've got this. Knowing your strengths and how to present them can set you apart from other job seekers. Let's quickly recap the key takeaways from our discussion today. First and foremost, we stress the importance of understanding your strengths. It's not just about recognizing what you're good at, but also about understanding how these strengths make you uniquely equipped for the job you're seeking. Remember, interviewers are keen to know if you're self-aware, can back up your claims with evidence, and if these strengths are beneficial for the role at hand. Next, we dove into the method of discovering your strengths. This isn't about parroting the job description, but rather about genuine self-exploration. We encouraged you to brainstorm and make a long list of your strengths. This list should be comprehensive, covering areas like your experience, your soft skills like leadership and organization, and your hard skills like fluency in a language or proficiency in a specific tool or software. Then, we moved on to refining this list. This is a crucial step because it's not enough to know your strengths, you also need to know which ones are most relevant to the job you're seeking. So, take your long list and whittle it down to the most pertinent strengths. Lastly, we talked about presenting these strengths effectively. This is where you take your refined list and prepare to discuss it in an interview setting. Remember, it's not about boasting, but about presenting your strengths in a way that highlights your suitability for the role. So there you have it, a roadmap to discovering and presenting your strengths, a process that is not just critical for job seekers, but also for anyone looking to understand themselves better and enhance their personal and professional growth. I hope you found this discussion enlightening and empowering. Remember, we all have unique strengths. Sometimes it just takes a little introspection and courage to bring them to the fore. Now go out there, discover your strengths, and show the world what you're made of.